Hi, my name is Sarah Russell. I am the sister of Michael Russell, who wrote the song for the movie and has also been struggling from depression for a very long time, along with addiction. Growing up as a sibling with somebody who struggles from that is, in a weird way, it's kind of like the hardest position to be in because it's your best friend, it's the person you grow up with. Okay. So.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Do I go first?
My name is Emma Russell, and I am the sister of Michael Russell.
And I'm Sarah Russell. I'm also the sister of Michael. So, alright. We were obviously first-hand witnesses of Michael's depression and struggling with alcohol and drugs and all like that. And I guess it's one of the most difficult places to be in because, you know, there's four of us, the four siblings. We grew up together. We had so much fun and playing all the games, and it just kind of stops, you know? And at first you feel like there's a reason for it, like it's kind of your fault, or you don't really understand why it's happening or what's going on with him. And you constantly want to fix it, and you constantly want to make it better. And it kind of switches as you grow through it, and you grow with him, and you figure out that the problem has nothing to do with the family, it has everything to do with the individual. And that's one of the hardest things to accept, is that growing up we were his best friends and there was nothing we really could do to make it better or easier on him. And that was really hard to know. And it was hard to deal with because all you wanted to do was just make it easier on everyone. And you wanted to go back to just having fun all the time, but that's not what the case was sometimes.
Yeah, it was definitely very hard growing up with it just because you always, you'd hang out with your friends. I guess it was hard because no one really understood where we were coming from. I'd go to my friends and I may have been struggling with the situation that was going on in my house, and it was so easy for my friends to just jump in and be like, oh, it's okay, everything's fine, and really they don't understand. And that definitely made it really hard.
Yeah.
Never really knowing what was going to happen.
Or they judge you too.
Yeah. What's the biggest problem about it is that I feel like a lot of people are so afraid to admit that they're depressed, are afraid to admit that something so small could alter their moods and make them feel like a piece of crap, and people are just afraid to admit to one another that that's a problem for them. And it's hard when you're living in a world where something like such a serious issue like depression is just frowned upon, or it's looked as not a disease or not something that someone needs to work at every single day. And it is something.
In some cases, it's even harder to deal with than... There's so much behind it as, like, for another illness, a simple drug or a simple treatment, whereas could heal it, whereas depression, there's so many different things it could be that's really altering the person's mind.
One thing that's important to know is that us three never ever held my brother responsible or view him as a bad person in any way. He's still our big brother. He's still our best friend. He makes us laugh.
He gave us the light of our childhood.
And I wouldn't change it for anything, and it's hard to know that he can get put in these dark places And like I said, there's just nothing you can really do except just continue to be there for them and never ever make them feel guilty for any actions, because sometimes it's not them. And I feel like that's a way we should treat everyone from day to day, is you always need to give people another chance to prove themselves, because people make mistakes every day, and sometimes people will say things they don't mean, and you always have to have the thought in the back of your mind that they could just not be feeling well, and you should never treat a person bad because of that.